Hello, folks, and thank you for joining us to the Midwest Z to A show. I am A with all the adventures.
And I am Z with all the zest and zingers.
And we just happen to be brother and sister here from the Midwest, and we decided that we have so many things to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I'd have to say, I've known you your whole life, and you've known me most of my life.
Almost the entire life, yeah.
Almost.
So we got a lot to talk about, folks.
We do have a lot to talk about.
All right, today we're going to be talking about Halloween because spooky season is upon us here, and we are just 10 days out from Halloween being here.
Oh, my goodness. I am so excited for Halloween, and you know this. The listeners may not know this, but Halloween is my favorite holiday out of every single holiday. Now, that's not too fair to say because, I mean, you know, we're Americans, so it's like, out of all the American holidays, Halloween is my favorite.
But is it really an American holiday when it's a pagan religion?
You know what? That is very true. That is very true.
This stems all over the entire world.
It does. You know what? It does. So yeah, who knows? Maybe Halloween is just my favorite holiday ever.
I would have to say Halloween for sure, and then a close second, of course, is going to be New Year's Eve, because you know me, just new possibilities, always endless. But that's neither here nor there. Today we're talking about Halloween, and the colors are really starting to change. I mean, us leaf lookers, we're always looking out for them.
Oh my goodness, these trees are beautiful. I'm looking at the trees right now out the window. I see some legitimately yellow. Like, this tree is yellow, this one is red. We do have a couple of green ones. You know, there are some trees that don't turn around this time.
Well, yeah, I mean, your pine trees are going to stay green, of course.
But,
but your maples and your oaks and your popples are going to get all the beautiful colors.
It's beautiful. You know, it's just beautiful.
And the temperature, you know, we got sweater weather. Who doesn't like a nice spooky movie in your sweater and in your robe with your little slippers on?
Yeah. I like sweater weather. I also like it because we like to joke around and say that it's also yoga pants season.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely yoga pants season for sure.
Okay.
What else you got to say about, I mean, are you going to any parties this year?
You know what? No, I don't have any parties planned whatsoever, but I did, because I do have work on Halloween Day.
Are you going to dress up? Does your work let you dress up?
So you know what? I was thinking about that, and I was a little bummed out. Because I was like, I wanted to go to a party, and I'm going to be working. And I'm like, well, this sucks. And for my job, there's not a lot of people at work. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I am going to wear my sheet. I'm going to be a ghost.
Oh, good one. Good one. The classic ghost.
I can reuse my old one. And it's funny. There's a little burn mark on there from when I had one of those left-handed cigarettes.
Oh, man. Classic. We actually have a costume contest at work.
Yeah. Oh, at your place?
Yeah, can you believe it?
I can believe it, but I'm bummed that we didn't have one.
I know, so I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna see. I'm playing around with a few ideas because, you know, of course, I always do like the classic black cat. You know, I'm always trying to be dressed up in my little paws and ears, but at the same time, I'm thinking a sorceress might be a good way to go.
That is a good one. What's your favorite costume that you've dressed up as before?
Like, you know, it's funny you say that.
Over the years.
Because I had, today at work, we were talking about all the different things we dressed up as, and I'd have to probably say Corpse Bride was my favorite, Emily. Yeah, remember when I bought that wedding dress, and Mom helped me, and we tore it the fuck up, and we spray painted it, and then I had those leggings with the little skeleton leg, and my hair was already dyed like that, so I didn't have to dye my hair. I just had to do the makeup.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, because I did the ghost sheet and I liked it. That one might be my favorite because
funny.
I went to a costume party and with some friends, and I hadn't seen this friend in a long time, and so, you know, they also invited their friends that I'm unfamiliar with. The entire time I was at the party, I never took it off. So it's like, hello, my name is Z, and they're like, hey, and then I'm like, yeah, they'd never seen my face. It's kind of funny. I met people, and they know my name, and they don't know what I look like because I'm wearing a silly ghost costume.
You know, it's funny you say that because that's actually the reason why we started dressing up in the pagan religion. Because they wanted to make sure that demons weren't jumping into your body, so you would dress up as something that you weren't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Really?
Did not know this.
Man, you're supposedly this Halloween buff, and you don't got a clue?
Oh, I like it. I like this, just the simple stuff.
Well, you know why they handed out candy too, right?
No.
Well, that's part of the harvest. You're sharing with your
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm. And too, also you're putting offerings out too, and yeah. Man, I'm just teaching you all the stuff, and of course, as most common knowledge, people do know this. The veil is the thinnest between the living and the dead.
I did know that.
Yes, extra spooky things always be happening, like things just falling over, and you know.
Or maybe you might see like a black cat in your window, and it does the whole thing.
Man, I see that every single day.
That's
for
good.
those of you that don't know, I have 2 black cats, actually, one inside and one outside. And their names are S and C, and they are adorable.
Oh my God, they are so adorable. And I've mentioned this to you before, but C is my favorite.
Okay.
Because I can pick her up and she'll meow like it's the worst thing ever, but she doesn't do anything. And then as long as I start like scratching her, like right around the face and ear area, she really likes that. Sometimes in the cheek, and then I like to hold her like a little baby and then bury my face inside her.
Well, one thing I do have to make sure of, I bring S in during the Halloween season because I do worry about black cats. So I'm just going to be saying this, folks. Be kind to those black cats because they are just as friendly as the next colored cat out there.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like, it's, because Halloween is orange and black, and, it's like there's the black cats that people worry about. What about the orange cats, People don't seem to worry about them.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I think those orange cats are pretty smart because people like to say that they're they got one brain cell. And so I wonder if that's what it is. I wonder if because black cats were stupid by revealing their intelligence, and because orange cats are stupid in general, maybe, just maybe, that worked to their advantage. And so it's like, yeah, Halloween's coming. We got to watch out for your orange cats and your black cats. And then over time, they're like, these orange cats, they're kind of, I don't know about them. They're silly. I think I saw one just chase its tail for 5 minutes.
I mean, if I had a tail, I might chase it for 5 minutes.
I remember when I was a kid, I always wanted to have a tail. I really did. I was upset because I'm like, oh man, I want to have a tail, and also too, I didn't want to have feet. I wanted to have hands, and I basically wanted to be a monkey because I wanted to be like jumping around from tree to tree, limb and limb.
Why don't you go as a monkey for Halloween?
Because I have to. It's getting close, and
oh yeah, you're not that creative, are you?
I'm not that creative, and I'm also busy in general, but I like the ghost costume. Mm-hmm. It'll get a good laugh at work.
Yeah, it will. That's a classic. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just love this Halloween season, and we're gonna have to watch some movies tonight. Get some Halloween movies in. My first one that I watch of the year, every single year, is always Practical Magic.
Never saw it.
You're kidding me.
Never saw it.
Oh, man.
Never saw it.
Okay, well, we're going to probably have to add that to the list then, because that is the one that I start off with in the year. Get a nice, good, feel-good, spooky one, and then you go into all your horror movies, and of course you got to have Rob Zombie, because who doesn't like watching A House of a Thousand Corpses?
You know what? It was funny because, last year, 2 years ago or something like that.
That's the one that we seen in theaters for this. I think it was his 30th anniversary.
Yeah, something like that. And I'll tell you what. I've only seen just a couple Rob Zombie movies, and I like him, but and he probably knows this, but he's not like any Christopher Nolan or something like that. He's not. I don't think he will go down as someone that, like, when it comes to people being like, all right, we're going to watch movies and this is what we need to study. I doubt that if Rob Zombie is on the list, because I think he does have some value there, that he wouldn't be at the top. He would be a little bit lower, but he's good. And the thing is like, you watch his movies and he knows his shit when it comes to Halloween, or when it comes to Halloween and movies and horror movies, because when I was watching House of a Thousand Corpses, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't tell you how many movies where it's like, oh, there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, there's, like Last House on the Left or something like there. And then like, and the thing is like, he would even like reference in his music videos too. He would reference like the old school, like Nosferatu or Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. So this guy knows his shit.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I love it.
I know, and that's part of the reason why I have to watch every single one of his movies during the spooky season.
Yeah, I know you've watched them all. What was it? He had one of those, Was it a Salem witch trials or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's just called Salem, but it's not like Salem witch trials, but it's Salem.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a few of his movies where they were clearly being like, there was advertisement in the mainstream media, but it's like you told me about this movie, and I'm like, I've never even heard of it. So
Oh,
it's
man,
like must have
I'm
been one of
surprised,
those
yeah.
like independent ones that he had sneak under the
It
radar.
probably was, but it was a very good one, And then he just had that last one come out, 31.
31. I
Yeah.
haven't heard about this.
Oh man, I got that one too. And of course, folks, I am very old school, and I got it on the DVD because
Yeah. DVDs are coming back.
man, you know
Physical
what? It's
media
nice
is
to
coming
have 'em.
back.
I'm tired of watching fucking commercials all the time.
So am I. And so that's the thing too, is like, because I'm cheap, and also too, I have a theory that no matter what streaming service you're gonna get, like let's say definitely within 5 years, you can have like the high tier where it's like, all right, here is your TV show that you can watch, but we're gonna still play commercials because that's exactly what happened to cable. Cable started out as like you would have no commercials, and then eventually it's like, well, now you get like 800 billion channels to it, and it's like you only watch 50 of them at most, maybe, and they all have ads.
Yeah, I actually just bought Hulu for the first time, and the only reason I bought Hulu was for Huluween, so I could be watching all these shows.
I forget that it's Huluween.
I know, and I want to watch a movie. I have no idea what the name is because I never know what any movies' names are ever. But we're gonna have to watch it. That was the one that I was telling you that Bradley
the one
Cooper's in.
Bradley Cooper one. Okay,
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Man, it's just I love Halloween so much and the candy. So, here's one thing I do want to bring up about Halloween. So this is what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post on my Facebook. I've been living in my house for 6 years. I've never had one trick or treater. So I'm gonna make a post to my friends.
Oh,
Be like, bring your kids down. I want to hand some candy out this year.
yeah. I mean, we do live in a rural area, and it's a town, but you live a little bit outside the skirts of town, just a smidge.
I have kids on both sides of me, and the neighbor kids have never come over and trick or treated. I turn the light on. I dress up because that's part of it. You need to be dressed up while you're handing out candy, And I might even just have some little favors for the parents too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe like small things of Jello.
Possibly, or some oregano leaves or something. Yeah, who doesn't like it?
That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. So so where I live in town is the highway or expressway. I forget which one. It's the road where cars drive fast. So anyway,
they'll always be driving fast.
and also the area where I live, we don't have like a sidewalk on there. So I have seen maybe, honestly, two different people because I've been living out here for about 8 years. No, longer than 8 years. But anyways, I've been living out for a while, and I'll occasionally see somebody who works at like the store that's a few houses down or something like that. And I think I've only ever seen 2 or 3 different people in my entire life just walking by. So we don't get trick or treaters on my side.
Well, hopefully this year will be different. But yeah, I'm going to make a post. You know what? I am feeling extra Halloween-y. I was able to go up north and see all the colors and everything. And I've just been enjoying the sweater weather. And I did recently put away all my stuff, all my flower bed stuff. The little neighbor girls helped me too and got that taken care of. But now I'm ready to just sit back and relax and enjoy these next 10 days.
Yeah. Wait, is it 10 days till Halloween?
Yeah,
oh my God, it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I did not. Oh man. Oh man.
I know I got to figure out what kind of candy I'm going to get. So maybe, if you think about it, like send me in what your favorite kind of candy is. Like, I don't know what people eat for candy nowadays because I don't eat the shit.
So, what's funny is like I see online that people will talk about how like they don't care about candy corn or whatever, or they say like candy corn's trash, and it's like,
yeah, there's fucking black licorice. That shit's nasty.
Yeah, well, but I like candy corn. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic.
I like candy corn.
The texture's satisfying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the way it feels when you bite down into it, and excuse me, it definitely tastes good.
Of course, one year I ended up doing like those Butterfingers with the Reese's. They're like a Reese's Butterfinger.
Oh.
Yeah, they were really good. And then guess what happened? I didn't have any trick-or-treaters. So guess who ate the whole entire fucking bag?
Was it you?
Yes, it was definitely me.
And you didn't share?
No, I didn't.
Oh my goodness. Oh, for those at home, you can't see it, but it looks like C, the cat, is hopping up and she's being adorable.
She's making an appearance to the show. She wants to say hello for the spooky season since she is a black little kitty cat with nice, cute green eyes.
Yeah. Oh my
God. I think we're probably ready for a commercial break. What do you think, Z?
You know what? Yeah. Today's sponsor.
Who is today's sponsor? Oh, here we go.
Is it Sullivan? I know Sullivan.
No, well, Sullivan's sponsoring us, but it's the telemarket talkative service.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about the telemarketer talking service.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I love Sullivan's telemarketer talking service.
So for you folks that don't know, who doesn't like to get interrupted in the middle of dinner by a phone call?
I love it. You know, it could, because like I eat at home, and you know, it's just I'm having like a nice time sitting at the kitchen table eating.
And when I'm at work too, you know, I just keep getting all these phone calls constantly.
Yeah, and you know, it's just like I can't get enough of them. I love it.
I know. I love feeling like I'm getting a pointless phone call.
Yeah. So do I. And, you know, and the best thing about Sullivan's talking service here is, Sullivan's telemarketer talking service here is that they have real people that are talking to you instead of like an automated voice message that you might get. And I love that.
Oh, yeah. It's the best part of the spam service is that we actually get to speak with a real person.
Now, I don't know about your guy, because but I get a guy. He keeps calling, and so you know, I found out it's Terry.
Oh, you finally found his name out?
Yeah, his name is Terry. I think
Okay.
it's short for Terrence.
Okay, and mine's Teresa.
What?
Yeah.
So you have a Terry too?
Yeah, we both got Terry's.
We got Terry's. Oh my
man.
goodness.
And they are just spam calling us all the time.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, it's just so great.
It's wonderful. You know, I've been prying. I've been really prying here, trying to, you know, find out some more information about Terry. And you know what? He's pretty tight-lipped.
I know, he seems
A
to only
tight-lipped talker.
You know, Teresa, she always just wants to like stay right on track with what she's talking about.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, lady, I just want to get to know you.
Yeah. I just want to get to know you
I mean,
too.
you're calling me during dinner. We should be talking about something more.
And you know what? Terry knew my name before I knew his.
Really?
Yeah, he said, "Hello, am I talking to Terry?" Or "Hello, am I talking to Z?" And I was like, "Yeah, yes. So who is this?" And he goes, "Oh, well, it's Terry."
Yeah, and you didn't recognize the phone number, right?
I didn't recognize his number. I didn't recognize his name. I'm like, "Who is this Terry?" And you know, I'm thinking in my friends list, do I know a Terry? And then I'm thinking about online. Is there anyone that I've ever talked to named Terry? Never.
But yeah, so we want to just put a big shout out to Sullivan's telemarketing talkative service.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And you know what? Hey, you know, if you have like an older grandmother or something like that, or a grandpa, and you know, I mean, I know they love talking, so I feel like I'm gonna suggest them. Hey, there's this guy Terry that you need to get on this list for this. Terry will talk your ear off.
And if you don't have a whole lot of friends, sign up for the spam service because they will be calling you all the time, and you'll always feel important.
And you know what else too? I have also bought a few products from them too over the years. Yeah.
Thank you, Sullivan's telemarketing talkative service.
It's so good. So good. Sign up today.
All right, now that we're back from our commercial break, what is on your mind, Z?
What's on my mind? Well, you know, I forgot what's on my mind. I wrote it down. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's right. It was cat sitting. That is what's on my mind.
How can you forget about that? You think about that all the time.
Yeah. Well, so a little while ago, you decided to go on vacation.
I went on an adventure.
Oh, yeah. And it was pretty cool. And so in the meantime, I know that you got the two cats, and so, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'll cat sit. I'm going to cat sit. And I love it. I love it so much because we got the inside cat is just a sweetie. The outside cat, I don't see him too often. I love him, but like in the morning, because he's a hungry fella, and so I'll be getting him his chicken, whatever comes in that pack, that chicken food, and I put it there, and he just meow and he goes rah, rah, and stuff, and then he starts gobbling up, and then I'll pet him, and
But
then
he's got a smoker's meow too.
oh yeah, he does. Oh, it's so cute. And then, so while he's eating and stuff, like I'll be scratching him and stuff like that, and then he'll be purring, and oh my god, he purrs loud.
Mm-hmm.
And then for an outside cat, I'll tell you what, S is very soft.
Mm-hmm.
He is very soft. And C, oh my god, you know, sometimes, because I do get my days and nights mixed up sometimes, sometimes I'll sleep in. But C likes to likes to make sure that we're on a tight schedule. You know?
She is really good about that.
So I'll be sleeping, and and she'll come up and she'll be meowing, and she'll be making biscuits on my hair, and then that inevitably pulls my hair, and I will wake up. I'm like, what is going on? And then she's just there and purring, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta feed you. So then I'll feed her, and then
Give her a little kitty Xanax.
give her her kitty Xanax, and she loves it, and she really knows. This is one thing I love is like because she loves getting her kitty Xanax because she goes, oh, I'm getting my medicine. I get to have some treats, and I don't know about you, but I like to spoil her. So I'll get her like 5 or 6 little treats, and then she'll just sit there and be gobbling up, just going.
Did anything fun happen when I was gone? Like, did they cause any havoc or anything? Or like, what happened when you were cat sitting?
I forgot to tell you this. So yeah, I was in the one room over here, and you have this giant plant, and so
Got
I'm
a lot
in
of plans,
there,
folks.
and then she comes in, and then all of a sudden, I turn around, and I don't know if it was me that knocked it over or something because it was a big plant, and it was bound to happen, and it fell. Your plant fell, and I was like, oh my goodness, and I'm swearing. And then the cat's just being adorable and like, did I do something? Did me do something?
She did it?
I don't think she did.
Oh, I was going to say.
I think my fat ass knocked it over.
Oh.
Because I heard her like hop up, and then I turn around to go pet her, and then that's when I knocked it over.
Oh, okay.
But
Did dirt go everywhere?
Not a lot of dirt, but then I was like,
I didn't even think I seen any when I came home.
Oh, so yeah, that's what I did is I was like, you know what? And this happened like the first day. So I'm like, well, I got a week of cleaning up. So I was like getting little pinches of dirt, and I was putting it back, and then I got as much as I could. And then, but it's that carpet, and that carpet, it can hide crumbs like crazy. So I got the vacuum cleaner, and I cleaned up them crumbs, and I was like, got that, and I was like, I did a pretty good job,
Yeah, I would say so, because when I went in there the other day, like the first day I came back, I was like, man, if I didn't know any better, it looks like it was vacuumed in here.
Yeah. And there was a couple of mishaps here and there.
That's bound to happen.
So C did have a couple tummy aches.
Yeah, that's gonna happen when she's getting a little older. She got that sensitive stomach.
And I'd show up and I'd see it and I'd just go, oh, you poor thing. And then my second thought is, damn it, I have to clean. But fortunately, she's really good about where she decides to get sick at.
Oh yeah, I tried training her when she was little not to do it on the carpet, and usually she doesn't. But sometimes that happens. But we get a little older, we have a little accident. It happens.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I've been walking and I'd have a tummy ache, and then I would just, and I try to make it to the floor, but sometimes it gets on the carpet.
Yeah, that'll happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, while you were cat sitting,
yes,
my adventures, I was around the Keweenaw Peninsula.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I was out there looking at the leaves, and I mean it was every color. It was peat colors while I was up there. I was searching for rocks. Have you ever heard of a greenstone?
I know of green stones.
No, but this is called greenstone.
The real name is called the greenstone.
No, just greenstone.
Greenstone.
I'm Midwest, so I put the in front of everything, but it's just greenstone.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's actually Michigan's gemstone.
Really?
Yeah, Petoskey is the mineral.
I'm familiar with that.
Yes, but the gemstone is actually this greenstone.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah, and so Dad was telling me about it, and I was like, no way, so let me do some research here. So I decided to do some research, and you usually can only find them in Isle Royale, which is almost up to Canada, if you don't know. And so, but some people find them in the Keweenaw Peninsula. And I was like, hey, there's this beach called Agate Beach, which is right on the Keweenaw Peninsula. And I was like, I'll bet you we find them there. Because we wanted to look for Yupa rocks, too, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's usually an orange glowing rock.
Ooh,
under
orange glowing rock.
Yes, under UV. I mean, it's bright. It's really cool. Yeah, it's like neon. But anyway, so Dad and I back rode it up, finally get to there and find some really cool agates too. I'm assuming that's why it's called Agate Beach. But you can find these greenstones or as they are or inclusions in them. And I can't believe I hadn't showed you them yet. But I got them in the front room.
You got them in the front room.
They are so cool looking. And one of the reasons for the green hue is because of all the copper in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny because when I was talking to Dad, I was like, I wonder if it has something to do, because he's like, yeah, they're real green. And I was like, I wonder if it has something to do with the copper. And of course, during my research, that is one reason why it turns green is because of the copper, the oxidization. So yeah, it was pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then what else did we do? Well, of course, it's hunting season, and
Mm-hmm.
usually that's a big holiday. That's better than Christmas for us folk.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got ready for that, and I was just all over the place. Oh yeah, and then I listen to this one.
I'm listening.
So I make a phone call, and I wanted to split up my drive home between 2 days because driving that's a lot of driving
That's a
in one
lot
day.
of driving.
So I was like,
driving.
I'll split it up. I want to wake up on the beach, so I go to make this reservation at the campsite.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to this guy, and I was like, well, this is the site that I want. I'm looking at the map too. Like, I'm online looking on the map, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be the one. So I talked to the guy, and he's like, well, that's gonna be an extra yada yada. And I was like, man, this is pretty expensive for this campsite. But I was like, okay, whatever though. I'm on vacation. The heck with it, I want to watch the sunrise on the fucking lake. So I've been driving all day. We're like 5 o'clock. And I pull up to the camp place, and I gotta check in. And at this time of the year, because it's not high peak period anymore, so you have to pick up this phone, and then that's how you check in, and then you drive to your campsite.
Oh,
so I go to pick up the phone, and I tell them where I'm, hi, and they're like, "What's your phone number?" Give them my phone number. We can't find your reservation. And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't find my reservation?" Like, we don't have a reservation under that phone number. And I was like, I got a confirmation email. Is there any way that you can look it up by my email? And they say, yeah. So I give them my email.
Mm-hmm.
There's no confirmation.
What?
And so they're like, give me the phone number. And I was like, or give me the number for the transact. And I'm like, I don't have service, lady.
Oh, no.
I have to go get service to be able to get into my email to get this phone number to tell them, hey, I got this confirmation email, because I received it as I hung up the phone. The guy sent it to me like right away, like he was doing his job. So I finally am able to get service, and I look, Wisconsin.
Oh, no.
There is the same exact name of this town next to the beach, apparently.
Oh, my God.
In Wisconsin.
No.
So I'm like, man, what am I going to do?
Damn cheeseheads.
Just to my luck, I had a friend of mine message me, and they're like, yo, we're staying at a campground. If you want, you're more than welcome to stay with us. So I get a hold of them, and I'm like, yo, I need a place to stay because I just booked myself in the wrong state. So I ended up going down. Oh, it was a great time. We ended up on the ATVs, doing back roading, just what normal Midwesterns do out in the country.
Mudding?
Yeah. We had a good fire, too.
Had a nice fire.
Yep, it was a good camping time. Probably going to be the last camping of the season. The weather seems to be turning pretty fast.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the past while it was like getting cold. Like in my house, it was getting cold.
Oh yeah, well I mean today though we have our Indian summer going on for the last few days anyway.
And so yeah, I decided, I was like, I can't stand it. I'm turning on the heat. I had to turn on the heat. It's getting cold. It's like 67, 68 degrees in the morning. But then I turned the heat.
In the house.
In the house. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, inside the house.
Like, bitch, it's been like 30 outside.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, because in our area we have like 11 seasons, and so our weather gets crazy, and it'll be like cold at night, like just super cold, and then it'll be like in the 70s.
Yeah, like today. It was lit. Well, actually, last night it was pretty. Well, this morning when I woke up and was getting ready for work, it was still like 55. But the other day it was 30, and then it ended up getting up to 75. And it's just like, that's just too many fucking layers.
Oh.
And then I'm at work, right? And then I'm like in and out of the cooler, and I'm like, oh, I'm so hot. Take the, and then you go outside, and you're like, I don't know what to wear anymore.
Yeah, you gotta pack for like all 4 seasons here.
And you can't trust the weatherman.
You cannot trust the weatherman.
Man.
I read there was a statistic that I heard, so you might want to
fact check.
You might want to fact check it, but I think it was 35% of the time the weather on the news is wrong.
Oh, absolutely, I believe it.
And so it's like,
how can you really predict something like that, though? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a
reason. I mean, there is a lot of chemtrails, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. So I thought this was pretty interesting, because of the weather technology that we have and the variables. The further out that we try to predict, the more wild it gets. So like, let's say today is Sunday or something, we can predict Monday really well. We can predict Tuesday a little bit better. We can predict, and like the more you go out, the lower it goes. The reason why it's a 10-day forecast is because 10 days is the farthest that we can actually predict. Yeah, I don't know how the numbers are crunched, but it's basically one of those things where, like, yeah, in 10 days, I cannot tell you for certain what the weather will be because it is that unpredictable. So,
wow.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Man,
That's why it's always like a 10-day forecast.
Huh, I just learned something there.
Yeah. Weather technology.
But since we're talking about things that are this or that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go into our next portion of our episode here with this or that, and we're doing Halloween themed. Remember, folks?
That's right.
Do you prefer scary or silly, Z?
Oh, for costumes?
Well, we're going to say just in general. For the Halloween theme, would you prefer silly or scary?
So that's the thing is I am a big fan of scary things. But there's also certain kinds of scary things.
What kind of scary are we talking about here? Are we talking like paranormal? Are we talking gore? Are we talking suspense, thriller?
All of it.
I
love it all. Except, so I do not like jump scares because I have a strong belief that jump scares are cheap. Yeah,
get your heart going.
Yeah, I love scary things where there is a buildup, and that is my favorite because it's like if it builds up, one or two things are going to happen. It's going to scare me or it's not. And if it does scare me, then I appreciate it more because it's a buildup and they manage to scare me the entire time. But, I mean, we can get scared out of nowhere. There can be a loud noise and then that'll get the heart racing, that'll get the adrenaline pumping.
So now are you referring to like
the jump
movies or are you referring to like haunted corn mazes or haunted houses or how would you put that into context?
Ooh, so you know what?
I'm saying?
So if I'm doing like a haunted corn maze, I am okay with the jump scares.
Okay.
Because I expect it. I know that
that's going to work.
Yeah, you know, there's going to be some guy in a silly costume coming out with a chainsaw going.
Well, it wouldn't be silly. It would be scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, scary costume, yeah.
But I also do like silly things. I do like silly things. And, you know, as like a little bonus thing, one thing that Halloween has become over the years is relatively sexy. And,
relatively?
Relatively sexy.
Oh, man, we got some hoochie mamas walking around nowadays.
You know,
which, I'm not body shaming. I'm not shaming any women. I'm just saying that there is a place and a time for things. And so there's some things where I'm a little shocked. I'd be like, I might just save that for the bedroom, not actually walking around.
Yeah, no, I remember. Oh man, this would have been years ago, and like I can't believe that this happened to me. It's because I'm at a Halloween party. And then we decided to do some bar hopping, and we're doing bar hopping, and it's costume themed. Everybody's wearing costumes and stuff, and so you get like the occasional silly stuff, which I enjoy. That you don't get too many scary stuff, especially when it's like a college town. And so I'm walking by, and I was like, man, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm walking to the bathroom, and I'm pretty buzzed, and then all of a sudden, I just see red and a bunch of skin, and I did one of those things where like I'm walking, and I just like, whoa, like this hottie had a body.
Ooh.
And it was like I did that, and I can't believe that I just went like, whoa.
You want to know what that makes me think of? Yeah. That makes me think of Mean Girls when they're getting ready for the Halloween. I'm a mouse. Duh.
Yeah, it was literally like that. It was like this lady essentially had, like, if you had to describe her costume, it was like 90% lingerie.
Oh, okay.
And this was in a bar, and so I'm like, oh my goodness. But
you know what? I'd have to say this too. Good for her for having the confidence to walk around like that, because you know what? Maybe that's why I'm a little biased on it, because I don't know if I quite would have the confidence to walk around in something like that.
And you know what? There was one time, a long time ago, there was a club that is now defunct.
I know which club you're talking about. And we did a lot of dancing at that club.
Oh, I loved going there. That was really fun. And they did have like a Halloween thing. And so I remember this was the first time where I was like, you know what? I am going to be kind of sexy. So
I was proud of you. That was a good one.
I did a Chippendale thing, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I'm young, and I'm young, and I'm single, and I'm like, you know what? This might be it. This might be the way that I'm going to get some numbers. And I show up, and I see this one dude, and I was like, my God, this guy is hot, and he's in he's like in the same thing. It's a Chippendale thing, and I'm like, and this guy, and this is the thing that killed me. This guy took care of himself. he had like it had to have been a fresh haircut, and I
He's
was
like, I got this haircut just for today.
just for today, and then he was wearing what was it like I don't know if they were like spandex leggings or something, but it was like he was wearing that, and I was like, oh my goodness, and then he had like a bow tie and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, god damn it.
He's gonna be getting all the phone numbers now.
He's gonna be getting numbers, and I mean, like for an average person, like out here in the Midwest, I know I'm not ugly, and I know that I'm reasonably attractive, but like when you see a hot guy, and that's the thing too, is like I'm like, oh my god, this is a hot guy, so I'm like, well, I'm not getting any numbers. I didn't get any numbers.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't get any numbers that night either.
Yeah.
But I did have a good time.
It was fun.
That was a good time. We had
So
a lot
yeah,
of good times out there. So anyway, so back to the scary or silly. Sorry, we got a little sidetracked
I know
there.
we did to get
but
sidetracked.
I don't know. I kind of really like the silly stuff though. I mean, it's fun just to be dorky. Like, let me put a big old fro on and walk in as like, you know what I mean? Big old disco queen, like. That's a little silly. I like that. I like that. I can appreciate that. And the kids like the silly stuff too.
Oh my god, kids do like silly things, and
that makes me think about being a kid.
It does, and so for me, because I love scary things, Halloween is whenever I want it to be. So I can always do the scary stuff, but generally when it comes to like the time of Halloween, I tend to lean towards silly. So you know what? It's a close call. We're talking real close, but I prefer silly.
All right.
In this day and age, it's better to smile than to be shocked.
That is very true because smiles pass around everywhere, and that's something free that you can give to people.
Mm-hmm. And it's the one thing that's one thing you can wear that never goes out of fashion.
Exactly. Yep. I don't know. That's a really hard one because I do like silly, but you know what? I'm gonna have to go with scary. Because I like the spook. I like the spooky season. I mean, even though, it's like, man, I feel like somebody's watching me, and you're not sure, but you're like, is there somebody? Is there not somebody? How did that light just turn on? And then you're watching the movies and you get the thrillers. I love the suspenseful ones. I like you were saying with the buildup. I want to be on edge the whole time. When I'm done, I want to need to like smoke at least 3 left-handed cigarettes to calm down.
I will say, as much as I love like suspense horror and things like that, I am a bit of a coward, and sometimes like if I'm watching it at night, I need to watch it with someone else.
Oh yeah.
And then also too, it's like because I don't like nightmares, and I very rarely get nightmares, but I'll be like, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll start watching this 2-hour scary movie at like 6 o'clock. By the time it's done, it'll be 8 o'clock. By the time I go to bed,
then you can watch something nice and silly like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, or it can even put on Hocus Pocus, which is on my list.
I've never seen Hocus Pocus either.
Neither have I.
And that's funny because everybody's always like, oh, they're just like beside themselves when they hear that I've never seen it because I'm such a Halloween-y person,
I know. Yeah.
But I still can't believe you haven't seen Practical Magic. You're definitely going to have to see that.
Well.
But yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to go with scary. As much as I like silly, I'm going to go with scary on this one. I like the spookiness. It's only for a short period of time. And the next thing you know, we just go into something good afterwards.
And I wonder what the listeners at home would think.
Yeah. So why don't you give us your poll on what you would think would be scary or silly for Halloween?
Yeah. Would you rather have that?
And also, if you guys have any ideas of what kind of this or that you want us to talk about, just send us a DM,
Yeah.
We need some ideas. I mean, we can talk about everything all the time because, trust me, that's all we do is just talk because what else do you have to do in the Midwest?
not a whole lot. Stare at a fire.
But we do want to give out a piece of advice.
And that advice is?
The advice is, when in doubt, sage the house. We figured we might as well go with another Halloween-themed piece of advice. So if you're feeling kind of weird and you hear those bump noises and the lights are flickering a little bit, you might just want to sage your house.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, what's it going to hurt? Nothing.
And actually, it kills 98.9% of bacteria.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's the percentage.
Ooh.
But it does kill a large percentage of actual bacteria within the airborne. So, you're hitting 2 stones with one on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, my goodness.
Yep. And little Miss C would have to agree.
Yeah, she's being adorable. Oh, my gosh.
And that's everything, though, from Z to A. We would like to thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
And one little fun thing that we are trying to do here is we figure we would say the alphabet backwards in unison and see how many episodes it takes us to be able to do it together in sync. So we're going to try it.
So
ZYXWVTSRQPONMLKJI.
Oh, damn.
JIHGFEDCB and A.
And that is Z to A for today.
Thank you again, folks.
Bye-bye.